So can I?
Good day. I was going to say good afternoon, but Soraya, it's good morning. I am so glad
Good
you were able to
morning.
come here. What, 6 a.m. for you? 6 p.m. for
Yes.
us. It is a little tough.
Yes, it's 12 hours. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm actually, my culture is Indo-Dutch. So we're actually Dutch. But what I'm cooking now is my favorite dish. And it's a Balinese dish because I love Bali. The name is called Satay Lilit.
What is the
So
lily? I know satay in America is just like grilled meat
yeah,
on a
it's a
stick.
skewers. So you can put normal skewers, but I have lemongrass from my garden. So does anybody of you have lemongrass with you?
I have lemongrass in my garden, but I
But it's
yep,
not necessary. So
yep, I have.
you can even just take the meat and fry it. So, but I'm using this today, and
I can
it's
knock
wrapped
everything
around
down.
the skewer. So
Oh.
around the
So this is
lemongrass.
actually dried lemongrass because right now it's winter for us, so I don't have fresh. It
Yes.
just started to
Yes.
grow again. So I've got
Yes.
some
I
dried
have them in
lemongrass.
Germany. Yes.
So
Okay.
it smells so
Then
poignant. It smells really, really good.
yes, it's poignant. Yes.
So
So the main ingredient is this is minced meat. I have chicken mince, but you can also take fish or pork.
do you ever use beef or other meats, or
Oh, you
that's
can
not
use
standard?
meat. Yes, you can use meat.
Any kind?
Any kind, actually.
Okay, so
And I mixed it already a bit with the basic ingredients. So this is also basic ingredients. It's the same, and it consists of shallots, garlic. So about 10 shallots. I gave you the recipe, but I don't have a real recipe, so I just put it together the way I do. But I have written down the recipe, so if somebody wants to make it at home,
that's my
then
favorite thing is we are learning from you because everybody has different recipes, but recipes are just, I don't know, it's just a basics for inspiration, right?
yes, it's true. That's what I'm doing. So I'm mixing a bit because I have pre-mixed it yesterday with the first part, but it's exactly the same. So this is shallots, cloves.
So like green onions, yeah.
Shallots actually small and violet onions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shallots.
I have, yes, but I have prepared already yesterday because today I will be too tired to make it in front of you. So
All right,
look.
so I've got my meat put in my bowl like you do. I was trying not to get too much stuff ready ahead of time.
Yes.
But I know that you wanted to get stuff ready ahead of time because it's early morning for you. Just had a little bit of coffee. So
Yeah.
all
And
right, so
actually
I've got
I
my
will
meat.
eat it for lunch. And this is second part exactly the same. So there's turmeric in it, a bit of chili. Well, I put a lot of chili, ginger, galanga, aromatic galanga, shrimp paste, candle nuts. So I've made it all already yesterday.
What's a candle nut?
Candle nuts,
Now you grew all this in your garden, you said.
not the candle nut that didn't work. I'm still growing it, but I had to buy it. Candle nut is a form of nut.
All right.
Just show you the candle nut. It looks actually like nuts, and it's used in many Indian and Indonesian spices. So this is candle nut.
Okay, yep, I have those.
Yes.
Question for your ginger and turmeric, do you just like mince it real fine to put in the meat?
I put it so actually this is called basa genep. This is the real ingredients which I put in the meat, and all the ginger and stuff I put it either here. I put it here. You see it? Does everybody
Oh yeah,
see it?
in the mortar and pestle, so you make it really
More
fine.
I've got a long one, so it doesn't get into my eyes.
Yep.
Or I use this.
Okay, where's mine?
This is a blender, and I have a small food processor, a smaller one. So this is for a juicy blender. And you can also use, even Balinese use a food processor. So you can also use this one,
Like,
this food processor.
like a little food processor, yeah.
It's a dry food processor. So it draws a bit the juice out of it, but not that many. So it's still good and it's easier. But stamping is easy too. So the mortar and pestle is actually not very hard to use. And my uncle made it. So yes. Kaffir lime, everything. And this is, do you know what this is?
In progress.
Does everybody see it? This is grated coconut. This one. I put a spoonful of coconut, grated coconut.
Grated coconut, okay.
Yes.
But you have fresh coconut.
Yes, and then grated. But I don't have it in my garden, so I have to buy it from there. But as I was in Bali, my landlord had fresh coconut from the tree.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
One really fell on my head.
Oh, that doesn't sound wonderful.
Yeah, well, then I wouldn't be here anymore. So a little bit of this, and the rest I use for other spices, so for other dishes. And
Excuse me.
I put it back. So can you see it when I'm mixing? You just start mixing everything.
All right. I'm trying to catch up with you. I've got my garlic and coconut and shallots in the meat. And now I'm chopping the turmeric and ginger.
Yeah, great. I think I haven't put much and taken much too. And I don't have the char grill on today because it's too early.
Yeah, what is the herb or the vegetable you like growing most in your garden?
Well, I didn't understand. Sorry, which herb?
What do you like growing? You grew all that stuff in your garden. What is the one you like growing the most?
The ginger just started to grow. Actually, the galanga is going very big. I can show you because I
was going to ask you, mentioned galanga, which is kind of sort of related to ginger. Is that correct?
No, galanga is not related to gingers. It's something totally different. So
it seems like in American cooking, a lot of time, anytime galanga is mentioned, people replace it with ginger.
You can buy powder too. So in America, in the shop, this is the galanga, this big tree. Galanga tree. And for Christmas, I put all Christmas decoration on it.
Do you eat the root or do you eat the plant?
Yes, I eat the roots, and these are the roots.
Okay.
They're under the earth.
So it grows under the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the turmeric. Ginger is still very small. This is the turmeric. Leaves look very similar, but the taste is totally different.
I'm just
Yeah.
happy I have a local farmer who now grows ginger and turmeric, because I use that a lot. I really like ginger and
So
turmeric.
what kind of soil is it? Is it real rich, or is it sandy or clay, or what kind of soil?
I think just normal soil.
Okay.
I think for the galanga, I needed to put some fertilizer. I used dry leaves, so dry leaves that had fallen down, dry flowers or fresh flowers that have fallen down, and the skin of the fruits. You know, this leaves a lot of skin, and I use the skin to fertilize my soil.
I'm doing it old school. I'm using the mortar and pestle instead of getting
Yeah.
the process
I
around.
think I have to mix it a bit. And just,
I like using the mortar and pestle because it's actually a lot, especially I'm doing a small
Sorry.
amount, it's a lot easier to clean than the food. But maybe it takes a second longer to do. But I do know with dried herbs, I did used to use the mortar and pestle. Now I've got a little miniature coffee grinder that I use. So I'm
so
starting to
can
get,
you see what I'm doing? I'm just mixing them all.
all right. All right, so I've got, let me get my spoon. Now I was thinking, is it possible to just make these like into burgers and cook them instead of putting them on a skewer?
What do you mean? To put it on a burger?
They just like make a burger and put it in the pan.
Oh, well, that's what I'm doing now.
Oh,
So I do have a grill pan and doesn't use much oil because
yeah,
the satays don't fit into the air fryer. The air fryer is too small.
oh, okay.
You can do that. So you make it a burger-like, so you don't put it on a skewer.
So I'll put a little coconut oil in the pan and make some burgers.
Yes, I put some
Right.
coconut oil, a tablespoonful of coconut oil in the meat.
Yeah, I do. I have these lemongrass skewers. That's how you said you do them on the grill, is on the lemongrass skewers. Yeah. I never thought of that. I always use bamboo skewers, but oh, we
This
had
is the
lime juice and
oil,
ingredients.
coconut oil. This is pure coconut oil.
Oh, here's my coconut oil.
And I add some of the grated coconut, so that tastes good. Another spoon.
All right.
Spoon. It's up to you. It depends on whether you like it or not.
So I have a lot of fresh herbs in here. You know, I've got ginger, the scallion.
Oh.
What else? Turmeric. But
Yes.
is there anything you would use dried instead?
Instead of turmeric?
Yeah, I mean, you use what you have fresh, but if you have dried, you would use that instead.
I use a bit of coconut sugar.
Coconut sugar. Okay. Add a little chili.
But you can put
I would.
normal sugar. So I put a little bit sugar, but don't make it too sweet.
I was
Sorry?
using my spoon to mix. I was using my spoon to mix it, but then I would just like, let me just get my hands in there.
Mm.
I suppose you could make these like, instead of making a circle burger, you could make like a long, like almost a skewer, like it's on a meat skewer, like almost a kebab.
You can make a kebab, just but satay lilit is of course something very typical. But you can make a burger, so it is very easy. And put it on your bread or put it on your rice.
All right.
Mm.
Now I had the luck of getting my meat already ground up. How hard is it to like mince it up? I've never got that, like got a big piece of meat and then minced it up.
Yeah.
How
So
hard was
how far or what? I didn't understand how far what?
how hard is it to mince up meat?
Oh, this is not hard because I haven't got much meat. So, but I have made it brown a bit with the sugar. But don't put too much sugar because otherwise I'll get too sweet.
Oh man, this smells amazing.
Yeah, it smells. It smells.
I smell like the lime and the turmeric.
And the lime is good.
My stove is not level, I guess. Oops. I don't know what
Coffee
happened.
lime.
Now my oil.
You
is
gotta
going
get
up.
all fancy
Can
and
you
like
see my meat mix? Can you see it?
Yeah.
you know when you see those chefs and they use the spoon to like put the oil over the steak, I'm just convinced that it's because their stove wasn't level when they originally started to learn how to cook.
Oh,
And so they're just trying to get the oil back on the meat.
yeah, usually it's level. I don't know. Did the whole world tilt or something?
I think I put some more oil so I can wrap it easier.
So
But later you will see.
I wonder.
Last time I had a little experiment. I put some coconut milk and the meat became so heavy that I couldn't put it on the skewer.
Yes. So you said you added coconut sugar. Usually, like if you get dried coconut here, it has sugar on it. So
You
you
can
just
put the
basically
coconut
add a
syrup.
little sugar, a little salt, a little pepper in there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So just another experiment. I put a little bit of coconut milk. A bit, just a
My
drop of
goodness.
coconut.
Really nice and spicy. All right, let's get ladle here. Oops. If I can knock stuff all onto the floor. Yeah. So you said you normally cook this on the grill, like charcoal grill?
On the charcoal grill, but I haven't got charcoal to begin with, and it was a bit hard to crank up. But you can. It is the best thing is to cook it on a char grill.
And but you said you started trying to cook these in the air fryer, but it won't fit in, or what?
It doesn't fit in, or I have to cut it in half. I have to cut the.
Oh wait. So can you show me what shape you're making your meat patties or your meat? How are you shaping your meat? Can you show me what shape you're making your meat in for frying? Because I'm just making little patties. But how would you do it?
No, well, I do it traditionally, but you can put it the way you want to.
Okay, can you show me what shape you make it, or you're not there yet?
So it's already wrapped up and finished.
What?
I put this one. And I take this bowl. Can
Okay.
everybody see the bowl?
Yep.
The bowl. And wrap it around. This one is a bit long. Wrap it around. You get it? So you lilit it, you wrap it around the.
So you're wrapping it around this, and then
like this.
Right? And then you cook it on the grill, or you fry it in the fry pan, or?
I'm not sure because I think I have to cut the skewers in half to be able to make it fit in.
Fit in the air fryer, you mean? Yeah.
In the air fryer.
Yeah. So I got in a hurry and I just put them in a frying pan as little burgers without putting it on the stick.
Yes.
But I don't think it'll be as good.
In a hurry,
Good
I put
lemongrass flavor.
Fry pan. So I've already prepared this fry pan. So it's a non-stick fry pan, means I use very little oil, and it's actually a grill pan, so you can grill satay or meat. You see it?
Yeah.
This is a pan, and this is the air fryer. So it's a bit. So I have to shorten the sticks, and it takes more time than the fry pan. So actually today, I'm doing it in the fry pan. It's quicker and it's as delicious. So have you got your satay, or you make just little burgers? Are you going to eat it with rice?
Yeah, I eat a lot.
With rice or?
I like eating rice.
Yes, so I have prepared rice too. So, but I'm eating it for lunch, so not now. Now I just eat it. I've just eaten the butter. This is a short one. I might try it in the air fryer, the short ones.
Yeah, so I cooked them not on the sticks because I didn't think the sticks would fit in my frying pan.
Oh, well, you can just do as you want. When you don't have the time, just take this, just make little balls.
But I could see if it's around the lemongrass sticks that it would add more flavor to it. Definitely.
Yes.
Yep. Thank you for getting up at 6 a.m. to show us this.
Yes, thank you.
I don't tend to eat burgers very much. And so I think this would be a definite new way of eating a burger for me that I would love.
You can make the burger flat. And just, do you have some burger rolls? Do you have some rolls?
No, I'll just eat it with the rice myself. But yeah, I guess you could,
With
this could
rice.
just be like, you know, a burger. But
Yes.
I don't know. I think that would ruin something that's so wonderful to just make it just the burger.
Plus, you don't need a burger bun.
Just like, but yeah, I mean, this would be perfect, like with some rice.
Yes.
Now, what kind of rice do you cook? I know different countries in the world eat different kinds of rice. Do
I
you
eat
care what
different
kind?
types of rice. So this one is called ramos. This type of rice that I cook. But you can cook a different type of rice. You can use pandan rice. You can use Thai rice. You can use jasmine rice, which is also very good. You can use basmati rice, but basmati rice is a bit different. It's a different texture.
I forget, what do they call them when you make micro burgers, like small burgers? Sliders?
I
don't
think
know.
so.
These
Yeah.
are like the best sliders ever.
So
I
have
probably
a
could have
question. Sorry to interrupt, but I have a question. Yours looks very well minced, like it's almost like a pate, like a real creamy meat. And ours looks a little more chunky.
Thanks for pointing out that I was lazy in my mortar and pestle and didn't chop it real fine.
Well, I was wondering, does it matter? Is my
Yep.
question.
I would think so. The
Actually,
more you chop
does
it, the
matter.
more flavor.
It gives a better flavor.
Now, I wondered, or are you using beef or?
I'm using chicken, but you can use beef. You can.
Oh.
I like to use fish as well, so I take
I'm
tuna
using local bison for mine.
Bison.
That also might be
Oh,
the reason, because
Buffalo sliders.
a mince on a chicken is a much wetter, kind of like pastier than
Yep.
buffalo or beef.
mm.
If you ever get ground turkey or chicken, it's
I
really
was
wet.
honestly, I was
Yeah, I've only
lazy
bought ground
because
chicken
I
once,
couldn't
actually.
find minced chicken easily, and so I was going to have to do it myself.
You
So-
kind of need a meat grinder.
Yeah, or a food processor, big food
Yeah.
processor.
So I would imagine that it's,
processor.
I would imagine the finer it is, the easier it would stick on the skewer.
Yes, so it wouldn't work when you don't really fine chop it, and you have to actually grind it, or you have to make it with mortar and pestle or food processor in order to wrap it around. So it's like this, a little ball. And then mark it with your finger.
We have a crazy weather here in St. Louis. There's a
How's the weather in St. Louis? How's the weather in Carbondale?
It's like, yeah, I'm definitely going to fire up the grill and make this again, because this is like absolutely wonderful. Like right now I'm smelling it, and if I could find somewhere to get minced chicken or spend the time to mince it,
Yes.
I think
And
I actually think
sandwich-
chicken would be better than what I'm making. Definitely.
I could see that made with lamb. I
But
think that would be good
I
with
don't think
lamb.
well, that would be that would be a kebab more. And
Yeah,
I think it would have a harder time. I think the advantage of what she has is it's very sticky and therefore it sticks to the stick a lot easier. Like I always tried to figure out how they get it to stick to the stick. But now I know.
Sometimes it doesn't fit. So, and even Balinese are having problems. So it depends on the texture. So these are mine. You see it?
Not very much. If you could turn it a little bit more. Oh, there you go. Yep.
Oh,
So
like
you have them on the lemongrass sticks, and then
yes.
you
Yes.
cook them on a charcoal grill, or this time you're going to try to cook them in
This
the air
time I'm
fryer.
going to fry or the air fryer, or
Yeah.
I'm just going to fry it easier. And
Well, when you're
quicker.
done with it, take a good picture of it, and we'll share that in the group, what it looks like when it's finished. But, yep. Man,
Yes.
it smells so good. I mean, I'm smelling in mine,
So
I'm
then
smelling.
I have to fry it now. Then I have to fry it now because I'm not going to make much. I'm making one more. And is it okay to have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 skewers?
I think that's just enough for me. What about you? Or you have to make some for you? Just like if I was in your house, you would have to make like 6 for me, because I know as soon as I taste one, I'll be like in heaven, and I need that heaven to stay alive.
When I make it for friends or so, then I use the barbecue, the char barbecue, the satay maker. So I just show you how it looks like. It's a small grill.
Oh, it's like a tabletop grill. Oh yeah. Oh,
No, you put it on the table. You see it?
yeah.
You put it on the tabletop. But this time I haven't got charcoal because I have to drive out and I'm too lazy to.
And it takes it takes a while. It takes like 20-30 minutes to get your charcoal
Yes.
just perfect.
Yes.
Yep.
the charcoal's
And the-
always ready after you're finished cooking.
That's true. It's just like once you're done cooking, your charcoal is just like perfect. Just like
Could never manage to plan that in advance so much for
Just
some
like-
reason.
and so have
So
you
I
made
will-
it in the air fryer before?
no, I have made it in the pan
Yeah.
because it didn't fit in.
That reminds me, I need to check my pan. Let's
I'm
see.
thinking that sometimes when you see these things in Asian night markets where they're cooking, that quite often, instead of it looks like it's on a, it's looked like a chunk of meat on a skewer. It may actually be something like this, where it's kind of wrapped around the skewer rather than,
I always thought, like you said, it was just a chunk of meat that was marinated.
Exactly.
in-
That's what I thought too. But of course, it's obvious now you can't mix all that flavors and stuff with a chunk of meat. It's kind of like a Salisbury steak versus a regular steak.
Brad, don't leave it at that. What's the difference between Salisbury steak and the regular stuff?
I'm going to throw
Well, a
it in.
Salisbury steak is made with ground meat, and you chop onions and other kinds of stuff and mix it together and fry it, where a steak is just a steak. There's, you can put sauces and stuff on it, but the steak itself doesn't have, it doesn't have all these ingredients mixed in it like
Oh my
we have
goodness.
here.
I think a good steak, you need a good piece of meat. And the ingredients don't matter. A real good steak,
Yeah,
then the meat is more important.
I think I'd rather have one of your little things there. I think they're probably more tasty. I mean, I'm not opposed to steak, but I don't need to eat a 14-ounce steak to see what it tastes like.
Did I tell you what it tastes like? It's just like, so yeah,
Don't leave it there. Tell us what it tastes like.
I've been, what do you call it? I've been slow cooking them. I don't know what's the best temperature to do, but I made mine like a little thick. I made them small and thick. And I do tend to overcook my meat because I grew up vegetarian, and so I'm always worried. So, I will show you what mine looks like.
Don't forget to say what it tastes like, or don't leave it
Oh.
halfway.
I just want to tease you what it tastes like. So part of mine is I didn't fine mince it, so I have like little chunks of different things. But the main flavor.
But never mind, actually.
Oh my goodness!
Some were really fine.
It's like 5 different flavors all at once.
Wow, yum.
I would say the main flavor. Actually, that's the amazing thing is we put a lot of really strong flavors. We put garlic, turmeric, ginger, lime. What else? Salt, pepper, and none of them will really come out with like a major. It's like all kind of blended together.
What about the juiciness, or talk about if it's juicy or if it's dry?
Does it have some umami flavor?
Oh, it's got. Well, I mean, mine is bison, so of course it has a lot of umami.
Okay.
But I would say I'm gonna have to definitely make this again on a grill because I mean, it's grilling okay in the pan, but I could see it being.
Did you put all of the ingredients in the recipe in, like shrimp paste, candle
Yeah.
nuts, or galanga?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, or with the bison. I wouldn't think shrimp paste went with bison, but does it?
What? You wouldn't take shrimp paste with what?
With the bison, I think it would be better with the chicken, but I don't know.
I did.
Yes.
I did put a little shrimp paste. I mean, it basically adds. I put shrimp paste instead of salt in mine because shrimp
Oh.
paste has a lot of salt.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I didn't put very much because, you know, the bison already has the umami.
Uh-huh. And
Versus if you're putting it in chicken, you have to add, you know, a decent amount of umami, basically.
Maybe a little shot of fish sauce.
So it's like,
You can take fish sauce if you haven't got shrimp paste. I just
see.
show you what kind of shrimp paste I use. This one.
oh, yours comes in a tube.
Yeah, that makes
Yes.
sense.
That's actually pretty good because ours comes in little jars, and then you always open it up and you always get the smell
Yeah.
everywhere. But the tube is much better because you can just take a little bit out that you need.
Yeah, and that's why
Like a caviar tube.
Yes.
So how much did you use of
I
the?
use only half of this. Like you see this one, only half of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Only half of it. Now you can put more, but I don't like too much shrimp paste. But I put some other shrimp paste in the sauce.
Oh man, I ate it without even making the sauce yet. We have to make some sauce to go with it. Yeah, I mean,
Where are we
that's the
gonna
nice thing
find? Where
about
do we find the recipe? Or
it's on Facebook. It's in the chat. The page is Eat Rice and Spice. But again, the recipe is just an ingredients list because
Well, that's fine.
it is up
Yeah.
to you. It is up to
Yes.
you how you want, everybody has different taste buds.
No, I
Like,
get it, but I
um,
just want to kind of know the same, like you say, the basic ingredients.
Yep. Like I have learned to like fish paste because I had a friend who ate fish paste with everything. And so I tend to, when I make some soup, add a little fish paste just as an umami fish, or add some mushroom powder. So, but I think mine is done. I probably should shut it off and then start making some sauce. Although, I don't know, it's pretty dang good, just like it is.
So I have a comment about, not having any sort of, just having an ingredients list. Sometimes proportions really do matter, like in a peanut sauce. If you have too much vinegar versus too much sugar or something like that, you sort of need not necessarily a recipe, but you need a ratio kind of.
Yeah.
Because you can't just go by taste if you don't know and you've never made it before what taste you're going for.
Well, I mean, I would say with this one, like what I would say is similar to Thai foods, you have like every different flavor in one. So like if you have fresh ginger versus powdered ginger, fresh lime versus jarred lime. So it is a little bit of tasting, but I mean what I did is I just put an even amount of all the fresh ingredients. And then did I put anything? Oh, I put lime juice from the bottle instead of fresh lime. So I added a little extra because it's not as.
Did you have the kefir leaves? Because I thought I saw that, or is that not this recipe?
Yes, kefir leaves. Yep.
And
And
then-
mine are dried, not fresh. So I had to put twice as many. So see, you're cooking yours really quick. I've been slow cooking mine. I think you cook yours on a really high heat.
I think I have to do it in the other pan because it's simply too small.
What kind of sauce do you eat this with? I'm eating my second one.
I eat tomato sauce with onions and shrimp paste.
So it is very much like a burger.
How does it taste? How does yours taste?
Amazing.
Mm.
Yeah. But I think I do need to make it on a charcoal grill
yes,
and a high heat instead of slow. Like I slow cook this one.
yes, doesn't work. Well, it does work, but so.
Oh my goodness. I don't think I'm ever going to have a regular burger ever again. So
I think the sticks were a bit too long for the pan.
yep. So you want to tell us what goes in the sauce again? And then we'll wrap up the recording.
Onions, a bit of garlic.
So let's see.
A bit of shrimp paste. I have to make a second serve, because they're all broke up, and I have to use another pan, a bigger pan.
Okay. So let's see. In the sauce, do you buy like jarred tomatoes, or you cook basically tomatoes, garlic?
Tomatoes, fresh, but you can use canned tomatoes if you don't have any. But I use all fresh, everything is fresh. I try to cook everything. So I take this pan.
All right.
Because that pan is nice, but too small.
Do you have gas stove or electric?
Yes, yes. But I also have an electric stove. Stove
I
too.
was wondering because that was a debate recently I had with friends. What is better?
Gas is better for Asian cooking, but and this is my electric one. You see
Oh,
it?
I like those. The induction. Yep.
Yeah.
Induction.
Yep.
I've been
And
thinking
this
about
is
getting
my
an
one.
induction burner.
Well, nice thing about induction, I think,
Yes.
is you can do rapid changes of temperature versus
Exactly. So
a
you
lot of
can-
electric can't
You
do
can
that.
saute at a high temperature, and then when it says lower the temperature to add the other ingredients, and on electric stove, it doesn't, it stays too hot.
Yeah, an electric stove is by far the inferior one of the two. The only issue I have with induction is that you have to have special pan. Well, you don't have to have special pans, but there are certain pans that don't work on it.
Yeah, you have to have
I
metal.
just bought a brand new set of cookware, and it says that's designed for induction.
Yeah, like I get mine kind of like piecemeal, and like I've had some of my pans forever, and some of my favorite ones just won't work on an induction. And so you usually have to kind of like install those specifically, but gas, I've worked on both gas and electric, and most chefs hate electric. It's miserable.
Well, I live in a place that's all electric, so I don't have too many choices.
Yeah, in that
Okay.
case, an induction would be awesome.
Yeah. One of my grandsons just got his first place, and I gave him all my old cookware, which is actually in pretty good shape, and that gave me an excuse to buy a new set for myself.
Soraya, we're going
Yes.
to wrap up the recording. Do you want to say anything before I finish?
Yes, because I'm going to do a second serve, the shorter sticks.
Mine didn't come out very beautiful, but it is so tasty. That's my thing is I always can make things taste good, but I am very bad about making things look good. But I ate 2 of them already. I need to make a pot of rice and some tomato sauce. So, or I can just open one of these jars of tomatoes that I canned back in the summer. So Ray, I'm gonna turn the recording off. Is there any last minute something you want to tell people?
No. Shall I make a photo when it's ready, when the new ones are ready?
Yeah, when you're finished with it, make a photo and we'll post it to the Facebook.
Yes.
Thank you very much for getting up at 6 a.m. in Indonesia and showing us how to make this. I honestly don't think I'll ever make a burger again without a lot of balanced spices. So.
Yeah.